Tell me about the book you've written called Lead with And.
Yeah, lead with and. So in a world that is really comfortable with either or but, I am suggesting that the superpower of leadership right now is to be able to lead with and really, Jeff, it comes from research that I did and leveraged around unavoidable leadership tensions. So I don't care where you are in the world or what you're doing. If you're moving things forward, if you're really taking on hard challenges, and I've got a list of 6 unavoidable tensions that will be make it or break it to your overall success. I can list them for you if it's
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
The first is you've got to be, on one hand, optimistic. You got to help yourself and others see that the challenges will serve you well and the future is bright, and at the same time realistic. You got to face the cold hard facts of reality, not but optimistic and realistic. The second one is, and I think this would be probably really relevant for your folks, you've got to be an agent of change, and you've got to help people embrace change, and you've got to take advantage of innovation. And at the same time, you got to hold on to what's working, and you've got to make sure that there's some element of your life that you're good at and that's known. So on one hand, you embrace change, and at the same time, you preserve stability.
Yep.
The third one is, and this is, I use the term profit and purpose. We want to run our organizations in a way where the bottom line actually is looking fantastic. We can grow, we can innovate, we can hire. And it's about the why. I mean, Simon Sinek was on to something a few years ago, meaning that, starting with the why. How do I be both about profit and purpose?
Mm-hmm.
The fourth is, and this is one that's been really, really, it's kind of floated to the top of the list as people have worked more in a hybrid reality. A lot of the teams I work with are no longer face-to-face. How do I have high expectations on myself and on each other? How do we have high expectations and equally high levels of grace?
Mm-hmm.
How do we, not either or, but when I say grace, I'm talking about empathy and understanding and factoring in life. How do I have high expectations and high grace? The last two, you would know this, leadership is an others-oriented job. I'm taking care of my clients, my stakeholders, my staff, never mind taking care of folks at home and my community. How do I take care of others, but still focus on what I need? That's my fishing one day a week. Like, what do I do to make sure that I'm focused on self and others? And the last one is, how do I be someone who's confident? At the end of the day, I'm helping people move forward. I'm serving people by what I'm offering, my product, my service. So I need confidence, and at the same time remain humble. And humility is not weakness. Humility is the disposition of there's always something new to learn.
Yep.
So how do I be confident and humble? And my hunch is, you may not use the words I'd use, but those 6 tensions, you're wrestling with them every day. But if you get stuck in an either or mindset where with any of them, you just want to choose one side, neglect the other, even if it feels good in the short term, it will undermine your business. It will undermine your leadership. It will divide your team. So how do you name those to say, folks, this is the business we're in, and then manage them well? So I don't know, I'll pause there. Does that resonate with you? Thoughts?
I just thought of a new title for your book. It's called The Leadership Paradox.
I like it. I like it. Then the next title, I love it.